Now it's truly winter time here up in the Finger Lakes. We've got snow on the ground. Had to dig out the snow blower to keep the pathways clear. A great day to do a new dish. So we've been using a lot of einkorn flour recently. This is an ancient grain, and if you've got any kind of intolerance to gluten, this might be the answer for you. We found it really great. You don't have to change recipes, you can run with a normal recipe. So here we're just making some pasta, very simple egg pasta. We do it in the food processor. It's a really quick and easy way to make really delicious fresh pasta. These are fine fresh eggs. We get them from a farm just down the road, which is fantastic. And so we just add the flour and the eggs into the food processor and blitz it. Now I've been adding a little olive oil when I'm using the einkorn flour. I don't know, it just kind of gives it more of a richness. Once it's mixed, you'll see it will just bond together in your hand. Then you can turn it out and need about half an hour resting, which will truly hydrate all of the einkorn flour itself. So the way I do it, I just turn it out onto some plastic wrap, all the last bits out, and then just pack it together and almost kind of knead it within that packet, and then just place it to one side. It doesn't really have to go in the fridge. So we're going to make a filling for the ravioli, starting with some celery. Just a really fine dice on the celery. And these are shallots that we grew this year. Been storing them downstairs in our root cellar. So I'm just going to peel those and just finally dice a couple of shallots. Those nicely diced up. And then again, carrots that we grew this year. These little Tom Thumb carrots. They are so delicious. They add so much flavour. So again, just a little dice of those, and then a little garlic. Now for the garlic, only using half a clove. You don't want to be very intense garlic, so we're just going to use half a clove. Just going to smash that, chop it very finely, and then just smush it with the back of the knife. You can add a little salt as an abrasive if you want, but for that amount, it's fine. So we've got some fairly lean beef here. First of all, I'm going to start by browning that off. You want to brown this first because although it's a lean mince, it will release some fat, and that's going to make the finished dish a little greasy. So we're going to brown it first, and then once it's browned and that fat's been released, we're going to strain it. At this stage, I'm just going to add a little pepper, and there you see all the fat that's been rendered out. So we just strain that very quickly. Colander, and just set that to one side. Now I'm going to use the same pan that I cooked the meat in because we've got some flavour in there from the ground beef, and into there goes our mirepoix of the carrots, the celery, and the shallot from the garden. Give that a couple of minutes just on a fairly medium heat, and then I'm going to add some red wine. Put the mince back in, a little water, bay leaf, and I'm going to add a good squirt of tomato paste. This will give it a real richness, but it also helps to thicken it. So mix that all together, and then we're just going to cook that low and slow until all the beef has cooked through and has really become very tender. Once that's done, remove it from the heat, let it cool down a bit, and then into the food processor. I'm just going to whiz it. It's just going to chop it up. It's going to make it easier when we make the ravioli, but it also helps to combine all those flavours. Don't do it too much, you'll end up with a pate, unless you like that, of course. So the flour's rested. First thing I'm going to do is just roll it out a little bit. This is going to help it go through the wheels on the pasta roller, and then just run it through the pasta roller several times, turning down the setting each time. And we're looking for relatively thin pasta. When I hold it up, you should just be able to see your hand through it. Then lay that out, scoop out some of the filling, some of the meat filling that we cooked off. The temptation here is always to put a large amount. Less is more when you're making these filled pastas. Otherwise, you will find it's hard to get the air out or to get them to close up, and so they may split. So I just brush on a little water around each piece of filling. Place on the top of the pasta sheet, and then with this little ravioli cutter, just push down to both cut and seal the raviolis. And then each one I'm just going to check, make sure there's no air bubbles. If there are, you can gently squeeze those out and make sure it's sealed. So I've got well salted boiling water here. The pasta's gone in. It's going to cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. And in the meantime, I had pulled some wonderful tomato sauce from our summer harvest that we keep in the freezer. I just warmed that through, added a little bit of seasoning and some olive oil. And then as the pasta is cooked, just finish that off in that lovely tomato sauce. Some parmesan on top, a little olive oil, and there we have it. Wonderful Einkorn Ravioli. Bon appetit.